Shortly, our friend who is identical to ourselves dies in a very heroic and insecure way, and at the funeral we are introduced to his father, Kevin Spacy, who is the only white guy in the plot who doesn't have atrocious facial hair, which I suppose means he's the baddie. I'd spoiler that, since he doesn't properly villain himself until a ways into the game, but come on, it's Kevin Spacy, of course he's the villain. He's got two faces, smart-ass, and recently punched for being a smart-ass. His character looks over the soldiers at the funeral and picks you off the shelf as his new surrogate son, hiring you for his company, which is of course a PMC. And you know, PMCs being the main villain in a modern war game feels like slipping back into an old, comfortable sweater. The whole Call of Duty title speaks to a sort of inherent righteousness of fighting for one's country, and that sentiment loses something when the enemy is a real-life foreign power, presumably motivated by the exact same Call of Duty as you, white boy. But PMCs? Fuck those war-profiteering assholes. Call of Luty, more like. I know you're probably here to watch me give the bullying jock of the AAA games industry playground another well-deserved spanking, but I find I'm considerably better disposed towards KOTOR than I was towards Ghosts, say. The plot moves at the usual breakneck pace, like it's speed reading the back of a Tom Clancy book. We go from funeral to joining the PMC to destroying all the terrorism in the world to the PMC becoming evil with scarcely a pause for a piss break, but it's almost lovable for that, and Kevin Spacey essentially becomes a G.I. Joe villain. The usual anomalously well-organised terrorist strike cripples most of the world, so Kevin Spacey rolls in, takes the credit for ending terrorism, and becomes the most powerful corporation on Earth. And then, having essentially conquered the world with money and minimal force, Kevin Spacey decides his next course of action will be to invade the United States. Yeah, this is where I sort of lose his train of logic. I mean, he practically runs the world already at that point, but I guess conquest just doesn't feel like conquest till you've stuck a flag in someone else's shit. And he openly announces his intention to take over the world in a speech to the United Nations, after which the world turns against him, and I want to know what the fuck he was expecting would happen after he stopped talking. Pyjama party?